A Hall of Fame return was reportedly scrapped from last night's Raw. Omos has challenged Brock Lesnar to a match at WrestleMania. And Jay Briscoe's daughters have been released from hospital. All of this and more in the wrestling news. Hello everyone, Jack and Ross back again with the morning news. We're starting off talking about last night's Raw, where there was meant to be a Hall of Famer involved, Ross, but it didn't happen.
Yes, according to Fightful Select, Trish Stratus was set to return during a Ding Dong Hello segment with Bayley, of course, but it didn't end up happening. Instead, Lita and Becky Lynch showed up and made a challenge for the Women's Tag Team Championships, a match that's going to happen next week on Raw.
It's a bit strange though, because apparently, again, according to Fightful Select, Trish Stratus physically was at the show, which took place, of course, in Canada, where she is from.
Is she?
Rumour has it on the grapevine. But she left before the segment took place. Fightful then tried to follow up on this and asked what ended up happening, but they were simply told there was a creative change, and they've said they're going to report on more if they find out more.
So yeah, this is the second time we've had this story, because I think the story was initially that Trish Stratus was meant to make a big return during the Becky Lynch and Bayley steel cage match when Lita did to set up an Elimination Chamber 6-woman tag team match. That ended up obviously didn't happen in Montreal over the weekend there. So could this now be saved for WrestleMania? I would argue there's a strong possibility.
Yes, I would argue that as well. There's speculation as to the different reasons why. I saw people talking in the comment section of the Fightful report saying like, well, Dakota Kai is injured. This is a reference to the reports that came out just after the Royal Rumble, I believe, which said that Dakota Kai was injured, but it was said to be a minor injury and that she should recover pretty soon. Maybe it's taken a bit longer. Maybe they need it to be a 2-on-2 match.
It was a devastating attack by Becky Lynch with the chair.
Yes, absolutely. but at the same time, the bit that makes me think that this was a last-minute change is that Trish Stratus was physically there.
Yeah.
So I wonder what on earth happened there.
I don't know. Unless she's just saying hello. Often, sometimes they go backstage, don't they, and just say hello, and then, like, if they're there, something might happen, but this seems a bit different too. So I reckon they're saving it for WrestleMania. It is a WrestleMania, like, showcase match, isn't it? Yeah.
Especially with both the big women's title matches already set, Becky not involved. You want to give her something that's more of a bit of a showcase at WrestleMania. Yeah, I think that's probably...
Just hope she has the man entrance, like Batman, but the man from that WrestleMania Goes Hollywood promo, which was fantastic.
And Seth as the Joker, that was good. Also announced is that John Cena will be heading back to Raw very, very soon. He'll be on hand on Monday, March 6th, when Raw takes place in Boston, Massachusetts, where he is sort of near to from. It's like me saying I'm from Newcastle, I think.
Oh, is it?
Probably a bit further.
Where's he actually from?
West Newbury.
West Newbury, Massachusetts.
Yeah, I think it's a suburb of Boston or a nearby town. I honestly don't know.
More geography next week on the Wrestling News.
Anyway, yes, John Cena is set to come back for Boston, surely for the Boston Raw show. Surely this will build towards WrestleMania, Ross, especially with what Austin Theory's been saying.
Yes, Austin Theory, of course, who defended the US title successfully against Edge in a barn burner of a main event on last night's Raw. He did one of those web exclusive interviews after the show went off the air online, because it's on the web and it's exclusive to the web, where he said the headlines now, they certainly read Austin Theory is the now and the forever of the WWE. He's so boring. That little John Cena thing 2 weeks ago, Monday Night Raw, John Cena, can't wait for that. Can't wait to bring him home and give him a warm welcome to Monday Night Raw. You want to know why? Because things are a little different around here now. Remember that. Now.
He's the present.
Now.
No, I don't think there's anything wrong particularly with Austin Theory's delivery in these. I'd suggest maybe the boringness stems from what's being written for him.
Yeah, I am young.
I'm
you are
so
old.
young. Yeah, and that's But now we might get more of an idea of why he's been really hammering home recently how young he is, because this could be a future versus past thing with John Cena.
Yeah, John, I saw your bald spot on the December 30 edition of SmackDown when you took down the bloodline, kind of, in a weird way. To pin Sammy, didn't he? Or Kevin pinned Sammy in that tag team match, didn't he?
It was Cena's last appearance,
because you have a bald spot, which naturally happens when you're in your 40s. I don't have one, so I'm going to challenge you for a match at WrestleMania.
That possibly will be the feud. Even if it's not quite those words, I can see it being really, really similar. My only question is, will we see a full-on match between the two, or will it be, we've recently seen Cena appear at WrestleMania without necessarily having a match, but he gets his big entrance and everything?
It feels like something they've been built to for ages. I remember last year's SummerSlam where the first rumours were coming around about a John Cena Austin Theory match, but obviously John Cena's got the films on at the moment, all the time, so he was probably busy for that one, but I reckon he'll come back for one more.
Yeah, do you think he'd lose to Austin Theory?
Wait, I don't know, because that thing I saw on Twitter a few weeks ago. It was like Cena wins the title, open challenge on Raw. Someone like Jay White or another debuting superstar comes out and wins, takes it off him.
Fair enough.
And he goes away and makes another film.
That would make sense as well. Also, the possibility of Edge versus... Edge lost that match in the main event against Theory because Finn Balor got involved. Just after a promo or an interview, Edge had gone, I'm so glad to be done with the Judgment Day. And then, what's wrong?
Well, I saw a thing the other day. Was it the day of the week where the Demon was supposed to be coming back for WrestleMania, wasn't he? So
Edge is in trouble.
Yeah,
He's not going to win now.
Unless some sort of flimsy turnbuckle can be involved somehow.
Now, we don't know yet whether that match will drag on until WrestleMania or not, but one challenge that was made for WrestleMania on last night's Raw definitely took me by surprise, certainly.
Right, so Bobby Lashley, we'll get this out the way first. He appeared on last night's Raw. Elias in the ring basically saying, Rick Boogs need to learn from the master. I need a plaster, all sorts of lyrical rhymes like that. Then he issues this open challenge saying, who wants to headline WrestleMania with Elias? Out comes Bobby Lashley. Choke slam, over the top rope, barricade, ring post spot, back in the ring, hurt lock. Elias is gone.
He completely destroyed poor Elias.
Poor Elias. He's a big old jobber now, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then Bobby Lashley cuts a promo where he says, everybody has a plan until I slap that hurt lock in. This past weekend I put Brock Lesnar in a hurt lock and Brock Lesnar panicked and he had to resort to a low blow. Not Brock Lesnar, not Bray Wyatt, not Elias. Nobody in that locker room breaks the hurt lock. So now I will not be disrespected by nobody in this locker room. If you disrespect me, I'm going to put you down. So that looks like we're not going to get another match between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, which I think many people were sort of expecting.
That directly conflicts with the reports coming out from straight after Elimination Chamber. Very strange.
Very strange indeed, because coupled with this Bobby Lashley promo, we have a promo from MVP. And what did he say, Jack?
MVP said, I'm going to make a challenge on behalf of somebody to Brock Lesnar for WrestleMania, but it wasn't Bobby Lashley.
No, it bloody wasn't.
It was Omos. So MVP's gone, I'm going to challenge you, Lesnar. Omos wants you at WrestleMania. Is that really going to go ahead? Or is this just a little swerve and we are actually going to get a blow-off match between Lesnar and Lashley?
It seems quite conclusive, but it could be quite open-ended because we've been going through the recruitment process of MVP over the last few weeks in the background of segments and whatnot. He's been speaking with Cedric and Shelton and then trying to get Omos involved in that as well while being his manager and trying to get Bobby back in the Hurt business. It feels like a slightly bigger Hurt business than it was before, so maybe it could be a case of Brock comes back next week, turns down Omos and says, no, I want Bobby.
We'll have to wait and see. I've just realised you were trying to get me to read MVP's marvellous promo word for word. I'll do that now. He said the 7'3" 416-pound Nigerian giant Omos is issuing a challenge to face you, Brock Lesnar, at WrestleMania. Show up next week, because he wasn't there on this week's Raw. Show up next week to accept the challenge in person if you have the intestinal fortitude.
Yeah. Imagine Brock Lesnar throwing around Omos at WrestleMania. Omos hasn't really been thrown about so far, has he?
No, I don't think... If he gets thrown anywhere, it's usually over the top rope, so he doesn't have to bump and he just lands on his feet on the outside. I'm scared.
It's a bizarre thing to happen on Raw if it's not going to lead to something happening.
I don't... Knowing just what we've seen about when Lesnar's at his most motivated, having great matches and stuff, and there's often that theme that's mentioned that it's against smaller fellas.
Yeah, Jay Styles, your Bryan Danielsons.
Finn Balor, Ricochet, that was a squash, but it was still entertaining. I don't think Brock's going to like this. I've got to throw him around. Oh, brilliant.
It's better than Bray Wyatt, I would argue.
The spooky stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And some serious news to end on as well, but I think hopeful news as well, because a photo was recently shared of Jay Briscoe's daughters being released from hospital, as well as a report from TMZ regarding the situation.
Yeah, just the report just saying that they have been released. There's a picture of Jay Briscoe's wife and the daughters and the son all back together again. Ashley Pugh, who's of course Jay Briscoe's wife, just posted sort of a hopeful message on Facebook saying we have a long, long road ahead of us. And Gracie was the daughter who needed the surgery to sort of get her legs moving again. And down below in the comments, there's the link to the Give, Send, Go page, which has so far raised nearly $350,000. It's
obviously a tragic situation, and it's just sort of nice to see, I guess, a glimmer of hope at the end of it as well. And it's nice to see a large amount of money raised for the family as well. Obviously, we extend our best wishes to the family and friends of Jay Briscoe. Thank you very much for watching this news video. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and we'll be back later on today with more news. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.